What are the criticisms of the Communist Manifesto? When discussing the Communist Manifesto, it is essential to consider the criticisms it has faced over the years. This text, written by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in 1848, has been foundational for socialist thought. However, it is not without its detractors. Let's take a closer look at some of the main criticisms. One major point of contention is the manifesto's strong emphasis on class struggle. It argues that history is primarily driven by the conflict between the bourgeoisie, or capitalist class, and the proletariat, or working class. Critics suggest that this viewpoint can be overly simplistic. They argue that it reduces complex social dynamics to just economic class struggles, ignoring other important factors like culture, identity, and political institutions. Another criticism is the manifesto's dismissal of reformist socialism. Marx and Engels viewed reforms such as welfare and social security as mere band-aids that do not challenge the core structures of capitalism. However, many socialists believe these reforms have historically improved workers' lives and can serve as stepping stones toward more significant change. They argue that the manifesto's rejection of reformism is too rigid and overlooks practical progress within capitalism. The call for revolution is another contentious aspect. The manifesto insists that social change must come through revolutionary means rather than gradual reform. Critics argue that this stance underestimates the challenges and complexities of such upheavals. Some socialist thinkers advocate for a more gradual or democratic approach, which the manifesto critiques as inadequate. Additionally, the focus on industrialization in the manifesto has faced scrutiny. Marx and Engels emphasize the development of productive forces as necessary for communism. However, modern socialists, particularly eco-socialists, argue that this focus neglects environmental sustainability. They believe a future socialist society should balance human development with ecological concerns, which the manifesto does not fully address. The historical context of the manifesto is also a point of criticism. Written for the German workers' movement, some argue that its demands, like state ownership of production, may not apply to different countries or times. The broad revolutionary call can seem abstract without specific strategies for implementation. Lastly, in Part III of the manifesto, Marx critiques various socialist currents, labeling them as reactionary or utopian. While this critique clarifies Marxist socialism's distinctiveness, it can also limit the diversity of socialist thought by dismissing alternative ideas that might offer valuable strategies. These criticisms do not negate the manifesto's core message about capitalism's exploitative nature and the need for change. Instead, they highlight areas where its analysis may need to adapt to address evolving social realities, reformist movements, and environmental challenges. The Communist Manifesto remains a powerful call for social justice, but it is part of a broader socialist tradition that continues to reflect it on its ideas and strategies.